Okay, y'all. I'm back on here. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna come back. I told y'all. I told y'all I was gonna end that other live, the previous live, our conspiracy day live, and I was gonna hop right back on here with y'all for our strange story day. I got y'all. I got y'all. I wasn't lying to y'all. I wasn't lying to y'all, okay? But let's go ahead and get ready to hop right into it. Don't forget, I post Monday through Friday for specific uploads, y'all. My people, check that in the description below. Sometimes I put it in the comments as well, but if I don't put it in the comments, y'all, it is always in the description, okay? Now, today's video for our strange stories, we got another video about Raz V, okay? And this is about apparently South Korea's most charming serial killer. Can we say that? Can I say killer? All right. Let's go ahead and hop right into it, y'all. Let's go.
Women, and he became a serial. The thing about this is that people would say
Hold on.
he goes by Flower Boy, and he has an extreme, yes, an extreme obsession with women, and he became a serial. The thing about this is that people would say that he's very charming when it comes to women. Actually, they call him the Ted Bundy of South Korea.
On July 14th, a dark-haired man in his late 20s or early 30s was seen approaching several girls on campus. He told them his name was Ted.
And as we know, Ted Bundy would use his charms, his good looks, he would lure them in a car, and he would murder them in the United States. So the deeper we get into this case, you will see that they have similarities by a lot. He scared the whole country of South Korea, making all of the women scared. And it was so creepy because his obsession, as you would see, almost would make you say, what do they see in him? You'll see what I mean. Going way back to his childhood, actually, he didn't have a horrible upbringing. He had a really nice upbringing, a really nice childhood. He did grow up in this rural area, small town, but he had good grades. He wasn't a bad kid, and he wasn't the quiet kid. Because you know, a lot of times people look at the quiet kid as maybe you have to watch this person when it comes to classroom. But him, everybody would get along with him. He had this like innocent face. He would always talk back. He wasn't that quiet, like I said, and he was just vibes. Good grades, everything. He had loving parents, just like Ted Bundy. He had loving parents as well. Now, when he grew up and he became older, this one he became extremely confident. And I mean, he really liked his looks and liked how the way he looked. He would take care of himself to the maximum level. As in eating right, he had an extreme healthy diet, and he would always make sure he leave the house looking his best self. Sometimes when we want to leave the house to go to the store, sometimes we leave the house looking like bums, don't care. Him, it's a different story. Hair has to be right, face has to be washed, clothes has to be decent. But I want you to understand, it wasn't the type of confidence that made him look cocky. Actually, people thought he was very innocent. He came off as very innocent, and people would say that he had this like bubbly personality. So he wasn't this egotistic type of guy when it came to his confidence when talking to other people, unless it was his close friends. Friends would say, this guy, lovely guy, I love being around him, very sweet, very innocent. The neighbors, well, I mean, I would like to adopt him as my own grandson or my own son. I love that guy. Everyone around the neighborhood would just talk very greatly about him. But what everybody didn't know is that he had an extreme split personality. Very innocent and sweet outside. Inside was a complete demon mode that nobody could have never guessed. Now, he would tell his friends how much women he get. His friends will also notice this man talks about women like constantly, and he does not stop. We can be at the beach, he's talking about women. We can just be doing our own boy activities, he's talking about women. Like, he does not stop. And they notice that, okay, he has an obsession with them, and he cannot stop talking about them. This is the only thing that this man would want to talk about. Like, he would go up to his friends and he would say, look, watch me as they out in the club. Watch me seduce this girl within 10 minutes. And actually, as the friends are looking, he does it. And you just see him kissing this girl. Random girl he never met. He would get multiple numbers in the club and he would say, look, I got all of their numbers like I told you. And that's why I said, if you look at him, not saying that he's a horrible looking guy, but I don't know what they see in him. But it makes sense on why he's so confident. Because he's...
Y'all think he good looking or not? Like, y'all think it's... okay, do y'all think that just looking at him, you would think he'd be the person that just be, you know what I'm saying, talking to ladies about they draws, you know what I'm saying, with no problem?
literally just getting what he wants, and he's showing his friends that, look, I get what I want. Now Flower Boy is his nickname, and that's what he goes by. His real name is Kong, but I'm calling him Flower Boy. He got married 4 different times. The first time he was married, it was for 5 years. They had 2 boys together, and then they got divorced. He then got married to a second wife. They had a kid, which was a son. With the whole span of 7 months, they got divorced. Yes, they got married, had a kid. They met each other for the first time, all within 7 months, divorce. He met his third wife at the age of 34. Within 2 months, they got a divorce. You guessed it. Yes, they met each other. They got married. Within 2 months, divorce. But here's the thing about that third wife. As he had a third wife, he was talking to another lady, but this other lady became his 4th wife. So he was most definitely cheating on his third wife, because soon as him and his third wife broke up, got divorced, he married his 4th wife that he's been knowing behind closed doors. Marrying 2 times can sometimes be like, damn. 4 times is a lot. So obviously, it's something definitely charming about this guy to have wife after wife after wife after wife, back to back to back.
Honestly, anything past 2 is like, all right now. Come on now. Talk to us. What's going on? You need to go sit down somewhere and be by yourself. Anything past being married 2 times is excessive. I'm sorry. Like, you need to go look in the mirror.
To back, they see something in him that we just don't. We're looking at him average at best. He's not somebody you look at and be like, okay, he's a top tier model, and he's not tall. He's about 5'8". So he was doing something. He was pulling some type of cards to just make them fall, and it will work. And no, before you say it's money, no, because the wives that made it out alive, which all of them made it out alive surprisingly, except for one that we're about to get into, because he killed multiple women, like so much. But half of his wives will come out and say, actually, he was a very loving and caring guy. Like, they didn't even mention money. So yes, it was something about him that women just love. And I personally truly believe that he used huskies as one of his tactics, because he loved huskies a lot. At least that's what you would see outside looking in. I think he hates them. Why? Because it's been proven that he neglects them. He starved them, leave them in a car, in a code, and just let, even though they're huskies, but he just would leave them in a car overnight and let them just stay there and stay there and stay there. A lot of his huskies.
Y'all know they say when they be hurting them animals and mistreating them, y'all, that be the signs of a serial killer. Damn.
Passed away because of how he treated them. And I believe that he used these dogs to make him look innocent, because if you look at this picture of him smiling with this husky, you would not tell that this man is a serial killer. He actually does look sweet, not like a serial killer. So he would use this tactic. Maybe in South Korea, the women love huskies there, so he knew and picked up on that they love huskies, so he bought huskies to make it seem like I'm this dog lover. And since you love huskies, once you see the dog, you're like, oh, he's so cute, and then you fall for the innocent sweet side of him.
Research suggests that guys with dog photos in their dating app profiles are 69% more likely to get a match.
I swear to you guys, the finest men be walking their dogs. The amount of times I'm at a stoplight or parked near my area and I see some cuties.
There's a reason why I say that when a guy has a dog, it's a major green flag. And I don't have a dog, but I'm babysitting my brother's dog right now. And this is a full-time responsibility. Like, I have to walk him 3 times a day, make sure he's fed, make sure he has water, play with him, take him on walks, make sure he pooped twice a day. You have to be responsible for something other than yourself. So if a guy has a dog, he has to have all those responsibilities, which makes him someone that takes care of something other than himself and is able to take care of a living being.
And it kind of brings y'all in closer, because now you have something to talk about. You have something that you like, that he likes. All along, he's just using the dogs just to make you feel really comfortable.
I'm here.
And it was cuteness overload. So if you're a fan of big fluffy white dogs, save this for your next soul trip. I was so happy.
And I literally felt like I was in heaven. When we went in, we were greeted by so many adorable fluff balls that came to say hi to us.
And he knew this. Like, he knew that this tactic was working really, really well. So what he decided to do is take a photo of him and Husky and put it on his car. rearview mirror. Let it hang. You know how we all have something, not all, but a lot of us have important things hanging from the rearview mirrors. And he put the picture of him smiling with the husky. Now, something that I didn't tell you is that, I mean, you probably could have guessed it, but all 4 of his wives, well, I mean, he was cheating on all of them at a high rate, like an extreme high rate. Every time he would go out, cheat. While he was married, he would go to his friends and he would beg his friends to put them on a blind date together. He have kids with his wife and everything, and this man is asking for blind dates with random women. Crazy. You know what I'm starting to think? Not to come for you if you're S addict, I think he's a nymphomaniac. I honestly do. I think he's a nympho. If you don't know what that is, that's somebody that's addicted to. I have this theory in my head. Remember,
that wasn't even necessary. I'm gonna need you to sit down.
not all of you, so don't attack me. But I feel like people, because he's so obsessed with women, he can't control himself. He have no self-control.
No, like, yeah, for real, any type of obsession is like, come on. And one of them is people, right, in society, people tend to think like being a ladies' man or whatever. I'm not saying it's necessarily bad, but men who seem like he said, men who are, it gets to the point where it's like, at this point, it's like an obsession, and you might need to go get some help. Like it's something else going on there. Kind of like the men who are always constantly cheating. They always sleeping with multiple women or different types of women. There's something else going on there. Like that ain't just no, oh, I'm a manly man. I'm a man. I love women. It gets to a certain point where it's like, are you good? Like, if y'all get what I'm saying, look.
To be somewhat of a nympho, or do I sound completely crazy? During these time periods of him being married as well, as I told you, he liked to show off to his friends a lot. So he would bring his friends in a car, drive around and show them and tell them, look, I'm going to get this amount of numbers tonight and I'm going to prove it. So he would go to certain clubs, bars, and he would prove it to his friends and then show them the numbers. And then he would also prove that I'll leave with them tonight, bring them to a hotel or something. He would prove that as well. Now, if you was paying attention really, really close, I did not say that he divorced his 4th wife. If you think I did it, you're wrong. I didn't. The reason why I didn't is because he put in a huge insurance on his wife, 4th wife, and mother-in-law. After the insurance application, 1 week later, just 1 week later, the wife, the mother-in-law, and him is in a home, and all of a sudden in the middle of the night, this place catch flames. It burns. The wife dies. The mother-in-law dies, but Flower Boy makes it out alive, untouched. Now, investigators was looking at him kind of iffy, and by the way, his wife dies, he gets $100,000. Investigators was kind of looking at, well, I can't even say kind of, they actually looked into this whole situation to see if he did this on purpose. Because 1 week after this application, they die in a house fire? What? Couldn't really find no evidence that he done this. They just thought it was a huge accident, huge coincidence. He was let off. Nothing happened, no arrest, anything, just huge accident. Before the murder spree starts to happen, a year goes by of him just spending lots and lots of money, hanging out with more girls, often and often and often. And this will be his pattern every day. Just spend money, hang out with women, spend money, hang out with women. And he does not stop, year straight. Then, after that year, this is when the killing spree happens.
Lured women working in massage parlors to his home, killed them with a blunt weapon, mutilated their bodies, and buried them in the mountains in Seoul.
Buckle up. This is when it's about to get dark.
And we had no idea at all, no inkling as to what type of person the killer was.
But as more cases arose, we became certain that this was committed by one person.
I was under a lot of stress because of this case.
Dozens of women were murdered.
The task at hand is very much like solving a complicated puzzle, piece by piece.
But his later crimes revealed his true character. I thought, we're screwed if we don't catch him.
When you're in the city, you see missing women posts everywhere of different women all in the city. As women are walking around in the city, they're scared for every reason because they don't know why these different women is just coming up missing. It will be just multiple new women just keep coming up missing, and everybody trying to solve this. Locals are trying to be investigators. Investigators is investigating, and they cannot find what is going on, where they're even at, how they're missing, nothing. They just gone. Women are scared to walk out at night now because this is at a high rate of women going missing. Now, this most known investigator in Korea, did something very, very smart. He decided to stand at a bus stop and just stalk everything that goes on. He just wanted to get an idea of how a serial killer might be a serial killer in this place, or a kidnapper or something like that. But at this rate, he thinks it's a serial killer. So as he's standing at the bus stop, he noticed something. A man stops his car, he rolls down his window, and he asks a woman, do you need a ride? Like, do you want to get in my car and I can bring you? Now, this was not Flower Boy, the serial killer. This was a stranger. What the investigator noticed is that people around his town is very sweet. People all the time have strangers come in their car to bring them wherever they need to go. Maybe it's work, home. It's just a good gesture that people do around this town. So investigators think that the serial killer is using the city's good gesture to lure women in his car and kill them. And that's why the women are going missing. He figured this whole thing out himself without even knowing that that's what's really going on right now. That's why I say he's a genius, because what? That's crazy. The first victim was in 2006. Her name is Yoon, 23 years old. She was at the bus stop. Flower Boy would stop his car, roll down the window, and tell her to get in. I'm on the same route. I can bring you to where you need to go. She looks at that picture that he has hanging of him and a husky that's looking so sweet and smiley. So he looks innocent, look like he wouldn't hurt a fly. She trusts him and she get in the car. But something that you need to know is he made sure that he bought a really nice car, and this was a Hyundai. Now this Hyundai back in 2006 was a really good car. You see somebody riding in his car, he got money or she got money. So he made sure to buy a nice car to make his job more easier to lure women in his car.
Need a lift?
But this goes to Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy would use his car, drive around and lure women, and he would also, Ted Bundy would use his looks and his charm to also bring them in. It was not just the car. A lot of things played in factor to why.
Yes, I've heard about him, but how does he even really look for real? Because they swear that Ted Bundy was just this. Let me see. Ted Bundy. Like he was just this heartthrob or something. I did not mean to put that in. Oh, hell nah. Y'all, I know this ain't the heartthrob y'all talking about. Beauty is definitely in the eye of the beholder. Because ain't no way. I need to see more images. Maybe that's a... I know this ain't the guy that was just luring people into their car. Y'all. This is him? This him? This is... Okay. Yeah. Nah. Hey, different strokes for different folks, man. Different strokes for different folks, for sure. Ain't no way. Okay.
They would get in the car and just trust them. So when Yoon, the first victim, get in the car, he drives off. The first thing that he does when in a remote area parked is that he would SA Yoon. Then he had a signature thing that he would do to murder the women, and that is a woman stocking. When women wear stockings, they're stretchy, so it makes it hard when you're trying to stretch somebody with a woman stocking. And investigators, well, I should say a criminal psychologist would say, well, he used this because he wanted it to be a slow death. He don't want it to be fast, like using something like a wire, a rope. He used women's stockings because it's slow and painful. As he's doing it, he's looking them in the eye as it's a slow murder. And this is what he would get the thrill of. So when he done it to the first victim, Yoon, he loved it. And that's why it became his signature move. Because it's something he felt when he would just look them in the eye and watch everything slowly just fade. So as he's doing it and doing it and doing it, he could not stop. Maybe he was crying, maybe he was smiling, maybe he was laughing. He got the thrill off of it. I be getting in character too much. Yes, I can make myself cry. Yes, I can. But he went to a karaoke bar 3 months later and he seen his second victim. He looked at her working at this karaoke bar and he told himself she would be an easy victim. And he knew it. He just knew it. So what he would do is he would go to this karaoke bar, he would sing, he would blend right in, he would just have a good time. And he invited the karaoke bar worker, the women, to sing with him, to drink with him. And they had a good time. And he said said, you know what? Since your shift is over, let's go to another spot, another place where we can just have fun at. Which means this worker would have to get in his car. Big mistake. But you know, she's trusting him. They had a good time. She's not even thinking anything gonna happen because of how fun they had together at this karaoke bar. As soon as she get in the car, she would get assayed. He would get the woman stalking, and the same thing would happen as he looks in their eyes as it's really slow. 2 weeks later now, see the time getting shorter and shorter. He goes to a bar, sees a woman worker. He tells himself, I'm gonna have a good time with her. I'm gonna charm her up, and I'm gonna invite her to go to another place with me, which worked. Got her in the car, and the same exact thing happened with the stalking. She was 35, by the way. Now a week goes by, even shorter time frame. It's snowing out. It's very cold. He's driving his car. He sees an older lady at the bus.
Damn, in the cold? Oh my gosh.
Stop. She's 52.
It's
He rolls down
already
his window. He
crazy
asks her,
altogether.
look, I'm going the same route. It's very cold. Do you need me to bring you? I have you. Like, I got you. She said, well, thank you. She gets in the car. She sees a smiling husky picture and how sweet he looked. And he's smiling, looking all innocent and sweet. Drives his car as he's thinking in his head. Then he parks it in a remote area as she noticed that where we're going. He stops the car. He looks at her. Done the same thing to her. And I say, get the stocking, wraps it around her neck, murdering her. He didn't have a specific women that he would go for when it came to age range. First victim was 22, next one was 42, next one was 35, this victim is 52. Then 3 days later, he meets another woman. This one switched. Her name was Kim. She's 37. She done something to him to make the process more slow. When he met her out at a bar or a club, they actually ends up having dinner after. So they go to dinner, they talking, they having a good time. He never does dinner. He never do dinner with any of the victims. But this one, Kim, he did dinner with her. Then after dinner, he goes to a hotel that they agree to go to together. You would think, well, as soon as she get in the car to go to the hotel, murder. No, they actually make it to the hotel parking lot. The conversation is going so well that they sit in the car talking for hours. But he could not help himself. In his head, he had to get the job done. He have to do it. So he ends up murdering her the same way how he murdered all of the other victims. Now, I truly believe that during that time, he really liked her a lot. She made him feel something that he just truly enjoyed. And I think he probably didn't really want to murder her, but he was so addicted and he felt like he had to that he just couldn't stop. When investigators told him, well, you had this, you basically had a date with this lady. Why did you murder her if you really liked her and enjoyed her company? He said, well, yeah, I actually feel bad for her. Investigator said, okay, well, why did you do it? I set out with murdering someone that day, so I did. My plan was to go out and commit this murder. I couldn't go down on that and ruin my plans. I had to do what I said I was going to do, and that's why I did it. So he tells investigators it just like that, even though he truly liked her. Now, a day later, even a shorter time period, after having that fantastic date with the lady he enjoyed the company of, it's cold outside. He sees a 20-year-old girl named Miss Yoon standing on a bus stop alone. He stops his car and say, look, I'm heading down the same route. I don't want you standing in this cold. Where do you need me to take you? Because, I'm heading down the same way. She goes up to the car. She explains herself. He says, get in. She gets in. She sees the husky and how sweet he looks on the picture. It makes her feel warm and relaxing. How do we know all of this? Because Flower Boy would tell us how the women would feel when they get in the car and the comments that they would say when they get in the car. That's how we know what happened when these women get in the car detailed. Because this murderer would tell investigators how it all played out. But he murdered this 20-year-old lady named Miss Yoon different. As he drove off, stopped in a remotely area, he murdered her with a t-shirt, not the women's stocking. Here's the crazy part about all of it though. I mean, all of this is crazy, but this is crazy. You probably didn't expect this to happen. He's divorced. He went to 3 divorces, and he basically, as we think, murdered his 4th wife in a house fire. So he's single. No, he has 5 girlfriends, and all 5 of these girlfriends do not know that he's a serial killer. So after he's murdering and essaying these women, he will go back to one of his 5 girlfriends and lay down in the bed with him. They would be like, oh, my boyfriend is home. They would hug him and kiss him, cuddle him, love on him, cook for him. But he just finished not only cheating on you, not only essaying, but murdering someone, then coming back to you, and you have no clue what happened. You love this man.
What? Like, what? It really be going on in people's heads. Like, and then they say he had a good childhood. But then we be like, something had to have happened in his childhood for him to be this way. But I don't know, y'all, because even like from look, even with being, you know what I'm saying, a parent myself, when they say some people are just predisposition for stuff like, you know what I'm saying, maybe your kid be lying, they be scared to get in trouble, but then it's like uh you don't even be like, you know what I'm saying, you act like you get whoopings or something or whatever, and you don't even get whoopings. Like, you get what I'm saying? We be telling my oldest that all the time, what is the problem? Like, you just tell the truth. Like, answer the question. Like, you acting like you don't even get whoopings. Like, some kids be acting like they be scared to tell the truth or whatever, acting like they finna how we used to act back in the day. Cause I don't know about y'all, but back in my day, hell, my husband, when he was growing up, we got whoopings. I ain't get a lot of them like my brothers, cause I found out real quick I ain't like that. So hell no, I'm not doing that again. I'm about to do what I'm supposed to do. Okay, boys are different though. Boys, I don't know, y'all are something different. The way my brothers kept going and doing stuff after a while, I was damn, they like the whoopings or something, don't they? I don't know. But the point that I'm making is right. Some people, me and my husband had a whole conversation about this, and me and my mom did too. When you become a parent, that's why like my mom said, they have a whole conversation about this in psychology. I think she said psychology, nature versus nurture. That is a real thing. There's no such thing as it all being one thing. Like, all of it is based on nurture and all of it is based on nature. It can be it's a combination of both. So what I mean by that is, you can raise a kid in a great neighborhood, have a loving family, show them, seemingly all the right things, caring for them, be there for them, and then they could still turn out and do some shit like this. Because I'm saying that to, for a lot of us, we'll think like, well, something had to have happened, or maybe something happened that the parents didn't know about, right? Because again, you got to remember what it was like when you was a kid. I try to remember, it was like when I was a kid, we're raising my own kids, right? And sometimes kids will have things that'll happen that they won't always feel comfortable coming to talk about. You can make it a space for them as much as possible. As a parent, try to make it a space as much as possible for them. Like, you always come and tell me stuff, right? And sometimes they will eventually come and tell you, right, when they feel comfortable, because whether you believe it or not, kids also too, they take the time to process something that has happened to them, and try to figure it out and deal with it with themselves too before they come and tell you. They don't always come straight to telling you. So they do that along with sometimes too, just like we can be scared of brain to forget, for kids especially are too at times, right? And then they'll come back and tell you and remember at the most random times, whatever, right? And then sometimes, right, you may never know. It could be some things that they have never told you. So it could be a situation like that, or it cannot be a situation like that at all. This becomes in that nature thing. This just some shit that's just in you, bro. You just like a damn psycho. Like, people be real life out here. That is scary, y'all. Being a parent is scary. Being a parent is fucking scary. I'm not even joking. Like, you can be doing, like I said, seemingly all the right things, all that, and you hear about shit like this. People be really out here raising, and then like they said, from the sounds of it, they say that, I mean, we weren't in this household, but hell, they say that the boy got good grades, was, you know what I'm saying, seemingly outgoing or whatever, like seemed like a normal child growing up or whatever, right? So as far as what they saying, it wasn't even no signs there. It wasn't even no early signs there. So people be out here literally raising a damn serial killer and don't even know it. Don't be having no warning signs until one day, boop, pop out, and then you out here just killing people. Because I'm waiting to get to the part where they gonna tell us, what the hell did this man even tell them? What was the damn what was the nail in the coffin for him? What made him just go psycho serial killer mode? He was married. He was a womanizer. But hell, the friend said after a while, then they said it started looking like he was obsessed with the women, right? But he married, so hell, that's a red flag. But he married 3 times. He a womanizer. You just out here cheating and stuff and all of that. But damn, even then, I wouldn't point that to like, you all of a sudden gonna pop out one day and be a damn serial killer. And it was even weirder. He didn't even kill his damn girlfriends. So he continues to hold it, and that's what makes it even more crazy when you have like serial killers like that. Y'all, he continued to have 5 ongoing relationships all while going to kill people in his spare time. What the hell is going on? Who is that serial killer they said today? They said the family had no clue. There was no signs. They would have never knew. And I'm one of the people that be like, the signs were always there, but I don't know, y'all. It be looking like sometimes it don't even be no signs. That's how good they be with these. What they call is that like um multiple personality types of the humans are scary. Humans are scary because some people really do be out here able to like completely mask their dark side, like flip like a switch like that, and you will never know. I can't remember the serial killer's name, and I know I brought this up before on my channel. It's like an infamous serial killer, but I remember them saying that his family was like they would have never known this guy would still come to like father could have just killed somebody and then still go to like family gatherings, laugh and life of the party and all that. Whole time this motherfucker was out here was bodies, just getting them. I don't know. That's crazy. That's crazy.
And he's a psychopath. But remember, he have really good split personality disorder. So he can switch. That innocent side really does make him look innocent. You could not tell unless there's evidence or he tell you himself how he is. Really good at switching character. And no.
But real quick, yeah, the whole point I was saying on that nature versus nurture thing, right? I said it could be a little bit of both. And then it could be like either, or then sometimes it could just obviously heavily just lean like on more so on one side. So it could be the way you were brought up, or it could be the way that, you know what I'm saying, this is just, you know what I'm saying, in them. Like real talk, I'm telling you, as a parent, like you will learn once you become a parent that at the end of the day, your kids are not programmable robots that you can just make follow exactly everything you talk to them or do certain things, right? Now, I'm not saying don't teach them right from wrong, or don't try to instill certain morals and values in them and stuff. For sure, obviously, definitely do that. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, it should go without saying, you should love and care for your kids. That should just come natural. Apparently, it doesn't to all parents, though, right? But what I'm saying is, so of course, yeah, do all of those things. But the point I'm trying to make is, the sad truth is that you come to realize is that, and I'm not saying this is something personally that I'm like going through or nothing like that, no. But I'm just saying, like, just off of just with this little things or whatever, right? Like you teach okay, so for instance, because you can apply this to all things. We be teaching, you know, I teach all of our kids manners and stuff. And our oldest, we be continuously, our middle child be using his manners better than our oldest. Our oldest be acting like we ain't taught him nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just acting brand new. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. We raise him a certain way, but then he still decides to not do it. You get what I'm saying? Or we have to keep reminding him, like, why are you acting like we ain't, you know what I'm saying? You know, you supposed to do these things or whatever, right? Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, whatever, right? Please, thank you, all that. So I'm just using that as an example. That's one of the things we be getting on to him about, is how you could teach a kid to, you know what I'm saying, be raising them one way and be teaching them all this. At the end of the day, these kids are not programmable robots. They come in with their own thoughts, their own ideas, their own personalities. That's first of all. You notice each one of your kids' personalities, even as a baby, if you pay attention to your kids. And it just becomes more prevalent as they get older or whatever, and become more self-aware. That's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, that's the hard truth you got to come to terms with as a parent. Like I said, nothing as deep as this, but I'm just saying, just for instance, even on little things that you become, you realize is that, like, you got to hope that they will really take the things that you try to teach them, instill in them, and actually apply it. Because these kids is people just like you. They got their own thoughts, their ideas. At the end of the day, these kids can grow up and do what the hell they want to do. They can do the complete opposite of what you taught them. This situation, though, is a big prime example, extreme example of that. Like, if it really is what they say it was like he grew up in a loving family, there was no signs there and all that. If it really was that, you know, because you know sometimes they say parents can be in denial, but if it really was that, you know, damn, that's like, yeah, that shit was just in you. Like, what's going on?
He do not want to kill any of his 5 girlfriends, and he have no plan on doing it, and he did not do it. These are his girlfriends. This is who he come back home to. And here's the reason. You know how men, a lot of us, especially me, when you have a girl, you can just lay down on her. Like, women give you that feeling that you just can't get nowhere else. You just lay on her. You feel that nurturing feeling, that loving feeling that women give you. And that's what he would say. He would say, like, I would have my girlfriends because they would give me this feeling that I needed, the comfort that I needed. And this is why those 5 women was safe. Because when you do really like someone, like truly, that woman makes you feel extremely calm. She's probably one of the few people that can calm you down instantly, depending on how long y'all are deep into the relationship. They will make him really calm, even though it's 5 different of them. All of them will make him feel that feeling that women just
He was busy as hell.
give you when you're dating. He needed it, so they were safe.
They say people make time for what they want to make time for, and they ain't lying.
But one of the people he murdered, a body was found. Of course, investigators didn't know that, so Flower Boy had to lay low. And he did for 10 or 11 months straight, almost a year, not committing no murders, staying completely out the way. And then on November, after 10 or 11 months to be exact, he sees a woman standing out in the cold, waiting for the bus. Her name is Kim. This is the 7th victim and she's 48. The same exact routine, pulls up, rolls down the window. Hey, come on, come in. I'm going the same route. She gets in, see the lovely smiling picture of him and a husky. They talk, park the car in a remote area and murders her in the same fashion how he did all of the rest of the women. I don't know if you ever heard this, but if someone's attacking you, someone would tell you, scratch them. The reason is because you want to collect their DNA in your fingernails, even if you don't make it out alive. You still want this person to get caught. You scratch them.
Her killer's DNA was found under her fingernails.
This is why you should scratch your predator always before running away.
Karina's autopsy revealed she had died from strangulation and her death was ruled as a homicide. But she did put up a ferocious fight with the attacker and she had bit him so hard that her teeth had cracked.
As a former police officer, it's important if you get that DNA on your fingernails, it makes the chance of that predator getting caught much better.
Thankfully, the DNA of the attacker was found underneath her fingernails.
Okay? To do with the fingers, nails, try and scratch their face, okay? Your fingernails, okay? It's gross, but
at least then.
Man, trying to dig in them motherfucking eyes and gouge them out just because you go for them eyes, they gonna have to stop whatever it is they do. If you have access to them, of course, go for the eyes. Try to put your motherfucking claws in them. I don't even give them if you don't got nails. Just stick your literally fingers in them things like you trying to just poke straight through them or whatever. And boy, like you trying to rip them out. Hey, I'm talking about, you know, YouTube for people trying to protect themselves. I'm not inciting violence or whatever. You know, they thinking. You know, protect yourself, y'all, from the crazies and the predators. Do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? You got to fight your way out of that. It's a life or death situation. And I know, you know, a lot of things can seem easier said than done. Like when you in the moment and you freaking out and you all over the place and you still trying to come to terms with and process all of within that same time. Like, is what's going on actually going on? You know, and then some people process things, you know, quicker than others or slower than others, or, you know. But try to take them eyes out.
When you do catch them, you'll be able to convict them because you'll have the DNA.
Well, Flower Boy knew about this. And he knew that the women would be fighting for their lives. So what he would do is, because remember, they found the body. So he's trying to be extra careful now. And he's kind of scared about the previous bodies because he didn't do this, what I'm about to tell you, for the rest of them. Well, for Miss Kim, he decided to cut the nails completely off. So there would be no DNA found.
He got time to do that? Oh my gosh. This guy is a freaking monster. This is insane. Oh my gosh.
His, just in case they find her. It was a rainy day, and I see that he have a pattern of picking days that's really cold, really rainy. I guess this also makes the process easy for the women to get in a car, because if it's hot, it's sunny, it's nice, it's beautiful, or it's warm, you like probably would be willing to wait. But it was this rainy day. He found his other victim a month later. She had her umbrella standing out in the rain. He parked his car, did the same thing. Even with the nails, cut the nails off, did the same exact thing. What he didn't know though, investigators are watching him very closely because they're investigating all of this, and that means they are also looking at CCTV footage, which they found him driving his nice luxurious car, and they found him going to the bank trying to withdraw money with one of the victim's cards. And as you can see, he's trying to be very careful. He's wearing a mask because he assumes that these ATM machines do have cameras. Not just the mask, that's a wig, not his real hair. And that jacket that he's wearing, he freshly bought that. He would never wear that jacket again, so he put on a whole costume to be extra careful. Oh, you might think, well, you have to press the ATM machine and it might have a fingerprint on it. Well, he made sure he used condoms on his fingers to press, so there would be no fingerprints.
Did he say condoms? You ain't. Did he say condoms? Did he say condoms? Not gloves. Oh, he an extra kind of, he a special kind of crazy. not gloves. He walked past the section for gloves and went and found condoms. Hold on.
That's because he assumes that these ATM machines do have cameras, not just the mask. That's a wig, not his real hair. And that jacket that he's wearing, he freshly bought that. He would never wear that jacket again. So he put on a whole costume to be extra careful. Oh, you might think, well, you have to press the ATM machine and it might have a fingerprint on it. Well, he made sure he used condoms on his fingers to press. What? So there would be no fingerprints. But I mean, they got your car, sweet boy. Got it. They seen your car on CCTV footage and they know who you are. They just need to collect more evidence on you. That's it.
A common characteristic that you'll see with high IQ people is that they have a tendency sometimes, and well, oftentimes I'd say, to believe that they can use that powerful intellect of theirs to sort of think their way in and out of everything.
I'm afraid to be in this neighborhood.
That you see in high IQ kids is that because of this broad intellectual bandwidth, they tend to overanalyze their plan for a murder. And as a result, they try to cover their tracks in too many ways, or they try to cover their tracks in ways that really aren't necessary. But why is this a problem? Well, the more they try to cover their tracks and try to throw the police off, they introduce something artificial, something that didn't exist or happen into the crime scene.
Previously. You might think, well, you have to press the ATM machine and it might have a fingerprint on it. Well, he made sure he used condoms.
So there's organized serial killers and disorganized serial killers. So organized serial killers, so Ted Bundy comes to mind. He absolutely did recon on his victims for several weeks in advance. They tend to be quite intelligent and they tend to blend in really well into society, which makes them even more terrifying, I think.
Previously. Actually, people thought he was very innocent. He came off as very innocent. And people would say that he had this like bubbly personality. Now, this last victim made it out alive. She actually was the one to survive the kidnapping of him. They went out on a date. They actually, well, I can say he actually was liking her because remember, if you go out on a date with him, if you get that far to go to a restaurant with him, he really, really likes you. But remember, he can't control himself. She still managed to get away and escape him. When she was questioned by the investigators after he got caught, investigators asked them, what did you see in this guy? Like, why did you fall for him? What made you like him? She just said, well, he was kind and warm, very inviting. I absolutely love that about men. And that's what he had. We gotta connect the dots. What is this telling us? South Korean men, I don't know about 2026, but at this time, y'all had to be to women. That all he had to be.
Damn, you can't trust a nice man no more. Oh Lord, it's a scary world out here.
Was kind and just sweet, basically nice like regular human. But if you do your research about South Korean men, even in the early 2000s, they're known to still be sweet and kind to women. Not really rude, especially on first dates. So this can mean only one thing that this guy was doing: money. The women who are coming out and saying that he's sweet and kind, including his wives and girlfriends who he didn't murder, are saying this because he's giving them the sweet, kind, plus splurging on them while making it all feel natural. So when he was on a date, he's spending, he's having a good time, he's making everything seems natural, he's paying for everything. She's just liking it, and it seems genuine because it actually was genuine, and he was never bothered about spending a lot of money. Remember, this guy is rich. Well, he's wealthy at that time. He owned and operated an agriculture farm. He was a massage therapist for professional athletes, operated multiple distinct commercial operations, opened multiple venues, had a restaurant, and also owned a car business. Now, was he achieving all of this for women? Possibly, because he had an obsession.
This mother... Oh, he don't get tired. Oh, he don't get tired. You're a busy bee. He had 5 girlfriends, all while going out and murdering people at the same time and coming back acting like everything was normal. And from the sounds of it, he had about 500 different businesses going. He was rich, he was successful. He had, but then at the same time, he had also been, what did he say, like married and divorced about 4 times. And he had some kids. You got energy. Oh, you got a lot of energy that you clearly didn't know what to do with. Like, what?
Remember, don't think he's just hustling. No, this means he's really smart to achieve all of this when it comes to business. This will plays into the part of him thinking that he can get away with his murders because he has a high IQ, but it messes him up.
A lot of high IQ they have a tendency to believe that they can use that powerful intellect of theirs to sort of think their way in and out of everything. Serial killer Ted Bundy, who confessed to at least 30 murders, had a scholarship to Stanford to study Chinese,
30?
but instead he earned a bachelor's degree in psychology and was attending law school at the time that many of these murders occurred.
So now that he's arrested and he's been caught, investigators have been watching him through CCTV and seeing him make purchases with the victim's cards, collecting more evidence and more evidence. They would take a picture of his car, the back seat, because that's where he committed all the crimes. They will also tell him, demonstrate what you do to the women. And he would have to sit there with like a dummy, like a doll, a human-sized doll, and demonstrate how he would murder them. And I told you that he had 5 girlfriends. Well, all of them was questioned as well, and they just said, I can't understand it. I'm just as confused as you, investigator. I don't know how he's able to manage to be so sweet, loving, and kind, and just be this type of a human behind closed doors, murdering people. I don't know, because I personally,
how the hell is he managing his time? Like that's what I want to know. Like, what the? And could you imagine being a girlfriend of somebody that you come find out, knock, 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 yeah, homeboy a serial killer, and this person was seemingly normal to you? That is fucking terrifying. That is terrifying. Oh my gosh, I'd be questioning reality so hard. I'd be questioning my damn self at this point. Because how did you not pick up on it? How did you not? That is terrifying. Like, what?
would have never guessed my boyfriend's a murderer. That's what all of the girlfriends would say. Now, even though we stopped at 8, it can be way more because this is just what he confessed to. And the reason why it is confirmed 8 is because if investigators have evidence of him murdering his victim, he would say yes, and he would describe the story of what happened. So he only talked once the evidence was shown. No evidence, he's not talking. So it could be more women, but the investigators don't have no evidence of these unknown women yet. That's not even counting for the wife and the mother-in-law with the house fire. They just could not prove he done that. But be real, I think he did. It's definitely more. But Flower Boy admits that he's a psychopath. He tells the investigators, look, I'm a psychopath. The investigators said, well, I mean, what makes you say that? Well, I was watching this show and they was talking about psychopaths and the traits that psychopaths have. And I noticed that I have all of them almost. He was just monotone. Never smiled, never was happy, never was really sad. I can't even really say really. Never was sad, at least when you're talking to him. It's just a straight up blank face talking person.
Psychopaths don't feel emotions to the same degree that most people do. Most emotions, whether that's, they can feel anger, but they definitely don't feel empathy. They feel sadness, but probably not to the same depths that we do. They don't feel fear. So do they cry? I think they can cry, but I think the likelihood of them crying is lower and the threshold for them to get upset is much, much higher. And if they do cry, it's usually for a selfish reason. So I don't think a psychopath would truly cry because something bad has happened to somebody else.
You don't see no emotions out of him. And matter of fact, since he's this type of killer, actually confused people in Asia, South Korea to be exact, because most of the serial killers that's there, they're lonely. They probably have money issues. Something is going really terrible, extremely terrible with their life. And him, he did things for the community. He had good paying businesses. He had friends. As you know from this story, he did not have problems with being alone just in general. He had many friends, many relationships, many family members in his life. So this is not common for South Korea in Asia. This is not. Now in a Western society like UK, America, Canada, Western countries, this is normal. For you to be talking in people's faces, have many relationships, family members. It's not always loners. It's people who's very extroverted that can be serial killers. And get
hold on, wait, what? I went back too far. Why is it going back so far?
bliss. And so he have his head down, his body laying.
Oh, hold on. Go back. Where was I at?
Fact, since he's this type of killer, actually confuse people in Asia, South Korea to be exact, because most of the serial killers that's there, they're lonely. They probably have money issues. Something is going really terrible, extremely terrible with their life. And him, he did things for the community. He had good paying businesses. He had friends. As you know from this story, he did not have problems with being alone just in general. He had many friends, many relationships, many family members in his life. So this is not common for South Korea in Asia. This is not. Now in a Western society like UK, America, Canada, Western countries, this is normal for you to be talking in people's faces, have many relationships, family members. It's not always loners. It's people who's very extroverted that can be serial killers.
Psychologists generally note that the United States has historically documented the highest total number of serial killers overall, I believe it, which includes infamous extroverts like Ted. Y'all, what is going on? What's going on? And why the United States, I wonder. Now, some people might say, well, in other places, they just may be going undocumented. They don't have the resources to catch them or whatever. No, but yeah.
And get this, it's many people surrounding the area, and they all want to see, because what they're doing is telling him to reenact the exact location, what you did with the women, and that's what he had to do there. And it's making him very uncomfortable because he see all of these strangers plus investigators looking at him do this reenactment. He have no choice, he has to. Remember, he like feeling in control, powerful. This makes him feel completely powerless, and so he have his head down. His body language is very, very low. Like he's just not enjoying this at all. So after that, it ends there. He was sentenced to death. He is still alive. He have not passed away in prison. 2026, this man is still alive. With that being said, women, even though this was a long time ago, way back in 2006, women still get unlucky in 2026. Have fun. Do what you do. Always keep something though that will protect you. You don't have to be stronger, but have something that's going to protect you just in case. Because you're going to always do your own thing and have fun. You're going to meet strangers. You're going to go on adventures, spontaneous dates. It's going to happen. Men that's watching, keep this in your cousin's or little sister's head, or keep trying to keep women safe.
Yep, see? He said all the right stuff. Y'all heard him. Shit, I agree. Y'all, after all that, sorry, I needed a real good stretch. Them stretches be feeling good, don't they? But after all of that, y'all, nah, for real, some shit just be in people. Yeah, it didn't seem like it was a lost cause, unfortunately. It wasn't nothing nobody could have did. Because I still didn't get my answer. Like, I want to know what was the point, because seemingly he went this long, you know what I'm saying, without actually killing people, and then all of a sudden it's like one day he just turned into a serial killer. That's what I'm interested in, his answer for what made him just one day decide he was finna, you know what I'm saying, do this. Or is it like he's always secretly had these thoughts? Because this definitely can't be no shit that came out of nowhere. He just always secretly had this thought, you know, this meant something to him, and then one day he just couldn't take it no more. He got brave enough and just went ahead and went through with it and did it. And then it was up from there. Like, I don't, man, that's crazy. That is crazy. It's scary. People are scary. Like, I'm telling you, it's scary out here. But that is gonna be it for today, y'all. So yeah, that's it for today's Thursday Strange Video Day. It is currently 4:59 in the morning, about to be 5 o'clock in the morning, y'all. I'm about to go ahead, get ready, you know what I'm saying? Get myself ready for the day, get ready to, you know what I'm saying, for the kids and the family to get up, get ready for the day and stuff. In a couple more hours or so. But I'm about to, yeah, that's it. I'm about to hop off of here. Shoot. Yeah, today is technically Friday. I'm gonna be right back on here with y'all later on or whatever for Friday for our Let's Talk session, y'all. Oh my God, I am currently beefing with Firestone. I'm gonna talk about that today, you know, along with a reaction video with y'all today with my own little story afterwards, right? That I'm currently dealing with today. Yeah. Or whatever. So yeah, so today probably technically, depending on what time I hop on live, technically, you know, probably Saturday or whatever. But yeah, y'all, again, don't forget I post Monday through Fridays for specific uploads. Check that out in the description. Sometimes I put it in the comments too, but if it's not in the comments, it is definitely always in the description, y'all. But y'all have a good day today, man. Let me go ahead and hop off of here. Bye.
Do it. And with that being
I done started the video again.